The effort to up the ante in the political battle to authorize a third casino in Connecticut does not seem to be improving the stakes at the Capitol. The third casino bill stalled in the legislature and could be in checkmate by the threats of legal action by MGM. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Davis, he's live in the Hartford newsroom with what the tribes are promising tonight. Good evening, Mark.
Hi, Scott. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. Yeah, the stakes in this are very high, especially if you work directly or indirectly at one of the casinos in southeastern Connecticut. The Mashantucket and Mohegan tribes' plans to convert the long-vacant cinema complex in East Windsor into a $300 million gambling and entertainment complex have appeared to be dissolving in the General Assembly over the past 4 weeks. That's why the two tribal chairmen have hand-delivered a letter to legislative leaders promising that current casino revenue will continue to flow to the state if the bill is passed.
Once it's built up and running, there will be gaming tax revenues that will come from that, while simultaneously we will preserve the current standing 25% agreement that's codified in our gaming revenue compacts.
And they repeated the dire predictions about jobs in southeast Connecticut if it doesn't happen in response to the rapidly constructing MGM casino complex in Springfield.
We're going to lose up to 9,000 jobs, indirect and direct, and almost $100 million in state revenue that I don't think the state can afford to lose.
I have raised the ante with the letter and assuring that we'll receive the $250+ million. It does still beg the question, would there be a legal challenge from any outside entity?
Everyone knows the answer to that question. MGM will do everything they can to protect their nearly $1 billion investment in Springfield. The tribes have sent $7 billion to the state over the past 25 years, and to some leaders, that does give them the edge in this game, and the letter of promise helps.
Whether you agree with gambling or not, or whether you agree with tribal gambling or not, they have been a long-standing partner with the state of Connecticut.
But the governor, who also received the promise letter, remains a skeptic.
It would make a difference in a starting point if the Attorney General was able to opine that would safely secure the state's position.
Well, opine means give an opinion, and he's not going to do that. His office says today that his opinion from last month stands, and that is that a federal lawsuit against this would be difficult to defend against. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.